In this video, we're going to talk about plaid shirts, how to render them. So this is one of the references that I found that I liked because it looks relaxed, and I want to illustrate this for my shirt design. Also, you can find other swatches online, but the whole point is to find markers that you have in your arsenal. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to render exactly what you want. So for me, the shirt is already done. I've drawn it. So now I need to draw in the plaid. So this is the shirt. Also, what plaid shirts have is this yoke. So they all have a yoke that comes, and the plaid is cut diagonally, so it's going to be kind of going across like that. I'm just indicating so you know. In order to draw kind of a nice shape plaid like this, what you want to do is you want to find so see the middle line first. Okay, and calculate how many times you have the repeat. So for me, it's like 1, and then I see kind of 2, it's hidden in the fold, and then 3, it's hidden on this fold. And then horizontally, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times that it goes horizontally. Then I have the yoke that kind of shows up, and it's cut in diagonal. So and it's very soft and it's very relaxed, so that's what I like about it. And those are going to help me to structure it on my page. And the way I want to do it first is to find the middle part. So the middle would be here, and my plaid is going to go across, and you start from the middle lane, because if you start from here, then your plaid is going to be kind of skewed. So always start from the middle whenever you're drawing stripes or plaid, because then your work will look more proportional and you'll get better stripes. So my stripes are kind of average repeat. They're not asymmetrical, they're pretty symmetrical, so it's pretty easy. And then you want to make sure that you have continuation, because pockets most often they're cut to continue with the same pattern, with the same print. They're not cut to not match. It's one of the major kind of things to match. And then you also want to have a flow from if you have them not buttoned up, you still want to kind of continue with the same pattern and the flow, because that's also part of the look. Most often, high-end shirts, they would match in the sleeves as well. So sleeves will continue even though they're moving in different direction, and the sleeve might be up, but they still have the main kind of lines that are corresponding to your plaid. And those are very important things to consider when you're drawing this type of plaids. So here is the main outline of my plaid, and the base tone of what I have is gray. So I'm going to take my lightest marker and start just drawing the shirt in, and I'm gonna fully cover this time because it's just the overall tone, and I don't have the lighter tone. So let's say if I have red or white that are just plain, I would just leave it out, but now I have everything very kind of blended. They're not distinct colors, so I'm just gonna cover everything with gray as a base tone. So I have a white shirt underneath, so I'm just gonna do that as well, since I'm working with gray, and that will help me to kind of make my work go faster. So if I have shades underneath my on my pants. I'm gonna do that as well. So in this case, you don't have to worry too much about even coverage because we're gonna have plaid on top of it and it's gonna blend the colors together, but you wanna get this, you know, even as you can. Now you wanna add your darker tones because that will again save you time illustrating, because if it's dark, if it's in the shadow, you don't have to, you know, just do as much plaid or a print, whatever texture, or maybe you have a texture, you know, you don't have to do the whole thing if you have the area in the shadow. So just the area that are going to be off shadow will pay more attention, and that will save us some time. So here's the I've blended it. Maybe I'll add the skin tone as well to make it a little bit clearer. And I want to blend a little bit in with again the lighter gray that I've used here as a base tone, because it will again give me some dimension, smooth out rough edges, and will make the work a little bit more polished. Okay, so when you look at my plaid, it's it has red, so I'm gonna make it larger. So it has red, and I don't have that red, and what I have is I have two Prismacolors, a little orange and a little more not burgundy, but like crimson red, and right next to it I have black, which is a bit blended, interwoven with red, and then I have white outline on all of them. So and then the black line that goes horizontally, it's more pronounced than the black line that goes vertically, and that's the pattern I'm gonna recreate here. So first I'm gonna start with lighter colors, not black, and lighter colors in this case, they're reds. So with reds, again, as I mentioned, I'm starting from the middle stripe because that helps me to keep the focus and you know, to be more directional and kind of not keep my plaid straight, otherwise it kind of goes all over the place if you start going from one or the other end. So first I'm doing the lighter orangey tone with Prisma, and then you can see it's still grainy, but I'm going to blend it, and it will work at the end pretty well. So I'm just taking a second to sharpen it. It's going to be the mixture of two reds, crimson and orange red. So I'm using my Prisma everywhere, adding that reddish color. And then on the diagonal part, it has to be diagonal, so it goes this way, it goes across. So here we're continuing with the lines that, you know, they're flowing, even though it's unbuttoned, but we still want to keep that sense that it was lined up. And then it continues on the sleeves. And at the edges, I'm going to add more crimson because that's kind of how my shirt is. So I'm changing the color a little bit with Prisma. So first I'm doing horizontal, then I will do vertical stripes. And now I'm gonna go and do the vertical stripe. So again, starting from the middle, even though I already have it drawn, so I do have a guideline, I see it, but it still helps to start from the middle so you're not, you know, for sure you're on the right place where you're drawing it. And then adding the side crimson color. So I'm keeping my pencil a little bit soft too because this is a flannel shirt and flannel has that little nap on it and it's fuzzy. So I'm trying to keep my pencil strokes and overall kind of more of a kind of fuzzy feel. I don't want it to be too smooth because of its flannel nature and the softness. So now I did my reds. I want to blend it in a little bit more, and the way we blend with gray. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will smooth out the Prisma pencil a little bit. I don't want it to be that fuzzy or grainy in this case. And then at the same time, I'm adding more shadows because by now my marker that I added previously has dried up and I can see if deeper tones are needed, and I'm adding more in the areas where I feel I can use more shadows. So while it's wet, I can even use darker tone to emphasize the folds and add more depth in the shadow areas. So again, this is off shoulder, so the main seam is going to be off shoulder. It's not going to be very crisp tailored shirt. Okay, so now I'm gonna work with my black color and make this black lines that are going across my plaid. And while I'm at it, I'm just gonna like refine the shirt a little bit too. So the black lines that are going horizontally are more pronounced on this shirt. There's some paint here, but I will fix it as we go along. So I'm adding black lines, so on this side as well. And I'm adding the placket while I'm working with black. And then now it's time to add white color. And for white, I can start with gel pen. And actually I need to finish up here, so I'm gonna quickly do this lines too. So I'm gonna start with gel pen with my white. And then I'm gonna start using paint at certain areas to just highlight the overall look. So my white color lines, they go under, in between these red squares. So that's where I'm putting them. And I don't want to go all the way to the seams. I'm kind of leaving them more kind of centrally, like wherever I have like more highlighted area, that's where I'm putting those lines, the more kind of like detailed. And the reason I'm doing it so I can work faster, otherwise plaid will take lots and lots of time. All you want to get is just the overall feel and colors correct for the plaid shirts. So here I'm adding So it's double lines on both sides. So wherever areas are in the shadow, I'm trying not to do them as much in detail because that will allow me to kind of work fast. So now I want to emphasize a little bit some areas. So I want to take the bleed-proof white. This, I have some paint on my hand, so I'm gonna take with my thin brush and just kind of emphasize right in the middle a little bit more of the white lines that I have. So I'm using the gel pen guides to help me navigate in this. And I want to keep it very casual kind of feel, very relaxed, so I want to do it very kind of a loose rendering on this. And this helps to highlight a little bit more. Some of the whites brings it out. And then I want to add my buttons, and I'm going to add them with white. They're not like visible everywhere, so I'm just gonna like put in certain places. And at the same time, I want to emphasize a little bit of the red as well. So this time I'm just gonna go in the cubes where red color meets across, like it goes like horizontally and vertically, and they just overlap. So in those areas, I'm gonna just add a little bit more red now with my actual marker, which is very light, so that's not gonna interfere with the actual color, but it will help to pop some of the reds out while still keeping it again very relaxed and casual. And maybe I'll add a little bit more black as well, and I will do that actually not with black but with T9 gray color, but it will help to kind of pop a little bit of black color, so white is not so overpowering. And I will do some deeper shadows with it as well. It's just overall look of a plaid. And I will finalize it by going over some detail with my black Copic microliner, multiliner, and actually I will use my pencil. I think it's and then I want to use side of my pencil a little bit to add some fuzz for softness and that flannel effect on the shirt. So I'm using just the side of this. In areas where I want to emphasize with more shadows, I can kind of go there with side of my pencil as well. So this is kind of the concept of how to do the plaid shirt, and it's mainly the colors and the repeat that you want to pay attention to in order to get that correct plaid repeat.